G'day and welcome to Queensland Weekender. On today's show, I think I've got the easiest job of them all to try and encourage you to visit one of the most vibrant and visually stunning regions in the whole of the country, the Sunshine Coast. For the next half hour, we could literally just let the pictures do the talking. I mean, look at this.
I could do that, but I'd only be telling part of the story. What really sets the coast apart are the people who call it home, the zillion fun things to do, the countless world-class bars and restaurants, the list goes on. And to think it's just a short 1 hour drive north of Brisbane, all that makes it pretty hard to beat.
So I've decided to start at a place that boasts a beach that is in the top 10 best beaches in the country as voted by TripAdvisor, and also known as the heart of the Sunshine Coast.
I'm talking, of course, about Mooloolaba, home to some great attractions like the family favourite, sea life. Swimming with whales, courtesy of Sunreef.
Absolutely incredible.
The best seafood around at Mooloolaba prawns. And an esplanade chockers with cafes, shops and award-winning restaurants like Orgello's, which belongs to this bloke, Billy Moore.
G'day Chris, how are you mate?
This is beautiful Mooloolaba day. Is this happening all the time?
Orgello's has been serving delicious Italian for 22 years.
To all our guests, all our viewers, I promise come in, I won't cook.
Thank God.
For those who don't know, Billy Moore is a footy legend. He played for Queensland in Origin and represented our country. But there's something he loves more than footy, and that's the Sunshine Coast.
So when my time finished with the mighty North Sydney Bears, people said, come and check out Mooloolaba. So I rolled into town, never being here, and parked on the front, and I saw this beach. I said, how good's this? To love where you live.
Yeah.
To me, that's the catch cry.
Yeah.
To love where you live, and how can you not love this?
A great way to take in this piece of paradise is on the Sunshine Coast Coastal Path. It's divided into 11 sections, and each one is perfect for a one-day walk or casual cycle. As we make our way from Mooloolaba to Alex Head, some highlights include the newly upgraded skate park and a monument to the HMAS Brisbane.
They sunk the ship out to sea, and this point's exactly where they,
is that right?
they exploded. They sunk it. It sits in around about 30 metres of water, and obviously a reef's forming around it.
Yeah.
So every year it sits under there, it gets better and better. But it's one of the great dive sites in Australia.
Talk about better and better. Every time I come to Mooloolaba, it just, in my mind, just keeps getting better and better, and just reminds myself, like, why don't I get up here more?
Because it's not far.
No.
You think about it from Brisbane to
Yeah,
here,
it's
it's
nothing.
1 hour, Gold Coast is 2 hours. Love where you live.
Yeah, exactly right. So the beaches, I think, we've established, absolutely amazing, but they're certainly not short on beautiful spots by or on the water in the area, because just down the road from Mooloolaba, you'll find one of the coast's premier recreation hotspots. Case in point, folks, say good day to the Marycan River.
There are many ways to have fun on and above the river. Paradise Seaplanes offer incredible scenic flights, and Swan Boat Hire has watercraft in all shapes and sizes.
G'day, Captain Mark. Permission to come
Chris,
aboard?
how are you, mate? You ready for a
See ya.
barbecue
Look at
and a
this.
bit of a fish?
Absolutely.
Mark Plank has been helping visitors enjoy the river for 20 years. Fishing, crabbing.
What do we got?
What do we got?
Oh, there's a couple in there.
He's got tinnies, stand-up paddleboards, kayaks, you name it, he's got it.
You've left people with no reason, no matter what the craft, to get out and enjoy
Yeah.
this beautiful river. Yeah.
Paradise.
It is paradise, mate.
Today we're cruising on one of Mark's barbecue pontoons. They go at 10 knots and you don't need a boat licence to skipper them.
Hear that? That's what you want to hear. Sizzling snags perched on the Marycan River. Perfect.
Soon lunch is served and I meet a fellow traveller, Monica. She used to call South Africa home. Then she discovered the Sunshine Coast and that was that.
You could have picked anywhere in the world.
Come here.
Yeah.
And this is the first place that I bring family
Really?
and friends
Yeah.
that come for a holiday. This is the first place we come, is on the Marycan River, just the best.
You're
Yeah,
right. I
honestly.
mean, relaxation, you don't need to try for it. It just happens within seconds here.
You couldn't have put that better. You couldn't have put that better.
I'm just scratching the surface of what's around Maroochydore. Tick these off the next time you're here. Dining at the beautiful Boat Shed restaurant at Cotton Tree or the Alex Head Surf Club. And if you want to stay a night or two, try glamping at Big 4 Rivershore Resort.
It's time to raise the heart rate a little. Well, okay, a lot on one of the coast's awesome mountain bike trails. See you after the break. So what if I said to you guys, I'm heading up to the Sunshine Coast for the weekend? What do you think I'd be heading up for? Sun, surf, rejuvenation, thanks Jess, a cocktail by the pool, all great options. But let me throw one more out at you. Sport.
It might not spring immediately to mind, but if you like getting active and love big sporting events, then Caloundra and Kawana need to be on your radar.
Well, here's a great example. Just a stone's throw from downtown Caloundra, you'll find the Sugarbag Road Bike Trail, home to some great characters like Barry White, Nessie, the Donkey. Confused? Fair call. Let me show you.
They're the nicknames given to the jumps, ramps and tricks that volunteers like Steve from the Caloundra Off-Road Cycling Association have lovingly created.
How many hours did you guys spend out here on your weekends and away from full-time work?
I'll have to say thousands before we had an MOU with council and 2,000 hours that I've logged since then.
Mate, this is something I just wouldn't expect coming to the sunny coast, that we could fly around these tracks. It's a pretty special place, eh?
It is. The Sunshine Coast is really like a mountain biking mecca now.
So what's with names like Barry White, I hear you ask? Well, listen up.
Oh, yeah!
Oh yeah! When you tackle this part of the track, you just can't resist crooning like the smooth man himself.
Oh, yeah!
And the imaginative names aren't just for the tricks, but for the tracks too.
Where do the names come from?
Well, we're basically on Sugarbag Road, so all the names have something to do with sugar. First one was Sweet Sugar, then Syrup, Golden Rough, Honeycomb.
Diabetes Lane. You guys just must have the best time cruising around, ooh-yeahing around this place.
It's getting fit, getting outdoors and doing it with a smile on your face, enjoying it. It's an awesome sport.
For sport lovers who also enjoy spectating, then may I suggest a visit to the Kawana Sports Precinct, just up the road from Caloundra. It's here I'm meeting a bloke who's passionate about sport and what this precinct offers, Councillor Jason O'Prey.
The whole precinct's amazing. We've got footy fields, we've got the stadium. Just over the back, you've got the great big lake, which we host dragon boat racing, outrigger, rowing, kayaking, canoeing, and open water swimming. We've got the aquatic centre over there, which we hosted water polo and swimming, and of course, and surf lifesaving. And we've got all the school ovals as well, right across the whole precinct. So it really is a one-stop shop, you know.
It's not just the facilities that set this precinct apart, but the events it attracts.
We did colour run a couple of years ago to 14,000 people. We hosted 10,000 people just recently for an NRL trial match. That was between the New Zealand Warriors and the Melbourne Storm.
And it's not all about sports. The precinct recently hosted Nitro Circus and the Monster Trucks. And music lovers, get this.
We've got Neil Diamond coming as well, and Neil Diamond's going to be a massive event for the
The Neil
Sunshine
Diamond, not
Coast.
like Noel Diamond
No,
or...
no, none of these copycats. We've got the real Ridgy Didge thing coming,
Yeah.
and we reckon we'll break all our records here. And Cole Chisel holds the record at about 15,000 people, and I reckon we'll smash that when he plays here in March.
So start planning your trip, folks. And if you need a place to stay, I can recommend the nearby Best Western plus Lake Kawana Hotel. And for a place to dine, check this out.
I've just been sitting here quite happily at Green Zebra restaurant on Kawana Island, and it's just dawned on me what the phrase fine dining actually means. How fine is this scene? This beautiful vista here, sunshine abounds, little breeze trickling through. This is a swordfish tartare with a green chili lime puree. Fine dining. I get it. I get it.
And a few other highlights to tick off in the Caloundra Kawana region: Red Hot Chili Pepper Cooking School, the iconic Australia Zoo, the awesome Aussie world, a cruise up Pumice Passage, and a visit to the stunning Point Cartwright Lookout. So many of you out there will have fond memories of Yamundi Lager. Do you remember it? It was a local favourite. Well, hasn't been on sale for years, but good news, folks. It's back. It's back in a big way. Stick around because after the break, I'll be doing a tour of this much-loved brewery. Near the base of the striking Mount Coolum is a carefree town that bears its name. It's popular for the esplanade peppered with cafes, bars and restaurants. What it's also known for is amazing surf breaks. Around this point in time, I'd grab my trusty stick here, I'd bound in the waves and just carve it up. Slow motion vision, me in the green room, epic. But you know what, before all that, I've actually got to learn how to surf, so. That's where Chris Kendall comes in. He's the man behind Coolum Surf School.
Can't wait to get out there.
Yeah, let's get wet, eh?
Chris is the real deal, former nipper, champion surfer and a passionate advocate for the sunny coast.
I believe it's pretty much the godsend of the Sunshine Coast.
Oh, well said, sir, because you've been here since you were...
Basically 2 years old, yeah.
2 years old?
Yeah, my family's moved up from Manly Beach in New South Wales, and yeah, I'm glad they did. Nothing against me in New South Wales, but hey, I believe I am living in God's country here.
Mate, that's a perfect thing to say on a show called Queensland Weekender, that's for sure.
Chris's lessons are open to beginners and advanced surfers, and they're great for the young ones.
Surfing is certainly a physical and active sport, and it's a great thing to get into and a great lifestyle to be a part of.
So good for kids, hey? Like we see all these kids on the beach now just running around, just loving life. Not an iPad in sight anywhere.
Hey mate, seeing you've done really well out there, here's your next step.
Phew. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
It's official. I'm a Coolum kid. Well, no surf experience at Coolum would be complete without visiting the Surf Lifesaving Club, and this is honestly one of the best I have ever seen. Drink in that view, folks, and then you get to sit down to an amazing meal that Tim the sous chef can whip up for you. We've got a locally farmed, pan-seared, beautiful barramundi with a panko and pistachio crust. Top that off with this guy, locally brewed beer. How good. Sunny coast, big fan, always have been.
While you're in Coolum, tick these must-dos off your list. A climb up Mount Coolum, the views, a visit to the family favourite, the Ginger Factory. And for food lovers, don't miss out on the Spirit House Cooking School.
So far we've been travelling along the coast, but now we're just going to go inland, just a tad, and well worth it because we're in the beautiful town of Yamundi. And you may know this place because of the famous Yamundi markets, which happens just over here on my right-hand side. Thousands of people converge on the main street 2 days a week. But not the only star attraction in town, no, no, no. Divert your attention a little bit over here and we see this beautiful old girl, the Imperial Hotel. You think she looks stunning from the outside? Well, wait till you see what she's got inside. Let's go.
The iconic pub has been welcoming visitors since 1911, and these days, as well as cool drinks and a great meal, you can enjoy a guided tour.
I hope you enjoy the pub that we're going to go and have a look through at the moment. We're going to tell you all the fascinating and delightful stories of the Yamundi pub. But how does that sound? Sounds great. Let's go. And one of the interesting stories of this pub is back in the 1950s, a local cattle duffer, who, funnily enough, no one can actually remember his name now, actually got into a little bit of strife with the local police. The police have made him go on his merry way, and he came back with his rifle and put a few rounds up into the top of the pub here just to make sure everybody knew he wasn't a happy camper that day. So yeah, we've got a couple of old bullet holes in the floorboards down here. And
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, one here and a couple over there.
Bloody
it's possibly
hell.
true, it might not be, but it sounds pretty good anyway.
You got the bullet holes to prove it, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
The highlight of the tour is visiting the newly opened brewery, which is resurrecting a much-loved beer.
Okay guys, here we have our actual brewery where we make the fabulous Yamundi Lager and Pale Ale at the moment.
Yamundi Lager first went on sale in 1988, but the brewery closed just 4 years later. The responsibility of reinventing the brand has fallen to head brewer Chris Sheehan.
Are you like a chef that's finally gotten his own restaurant? Like you've worked for the big dogs, and now you get to go, what do I want to do? What do I want to create? Is that exciting for you?
Yeah, very much so. Well, brewing beer is part art and part science.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot in my career about the science of making beer, but the opportunity to get that artistic side and creative side and play with different ingredients is really, really exciting.
Talking of ingredients, local produce is key. Malted barley, crystal malt, hops.
Yeah.
And of course some ginger root grown 1 kilometre away that's in our ginger pale ale. So absolutely, we went and picked it up from the farm ourselves and spent many hours grating it to put into our pale ale.
That must be nice to say. They talk about food miles, now we're talking about beer miles. This was, you know, the ginger in the beer is like a K-away.
Absolutely, yeah. So all of our stuff is local, including the ginger.
Well, this is the grand finale of the tour where we finally get to taste the beers that were so lovingly created about 25 metres away in the next room and beautifully displayed on this tasting log, which is the tip of the hat to the logging industry, which was here in Yamundi back in the day. So I've already started with the Ginger Princess. Hold my calls because another 3 to go. So see you later.
Before we go to the break, I must give the Yamundi farmhouse a huge shout out. It offers 6 luxurious rooms, can accommodate up to 18 guests, and its breakfasts are amazing. It's a perfect base to explore the coastline and the hinterland. The Sunshine Coast may be famous for its beaches, but let's not forget everything you can discover in the hinterland. Charming little townships like Montville and Mullaney.
And then there's hidden gems just like this one, Gardeners Falls on Obi Creek. It's a local favourite. It's certainly not hard to see why. I've never been here before. I'm not entirely sure why not. The hinterland is filled with waterfalls and creeks just like this one. So if you are after a slice of paradise, you're a good chance of finding one up here.
A terrific way to familiarise yourself with the natural beauty of the hinterland is at the iconic Marycan Cross Scenic Reserve.
This place has been welcoming visitors for over 50 years and it's just had a huge makeover with the opening of this incredible Discovery Centre.
The Discovery Centre itself is a place of education, environmental awareness and discovery of what's out there in the rainforest, where you can explore more thoroughly or more in depth creatures of the rainforest and things like that.
Talisa is super passionate about the centre and she coordinates its guiding program.
Wow, that is cool.
It's a bit weird close up.
That's about as close as I want to get to a scorpion.
Yeah, well, hey, try a centipede.
Kids must love this, hey?
Oh, it's great. We've got all kinds of things, spiders and leaves and crayfish legs, you know, so yeah, this is really popular for the kids.
When you step outside the centre, the wonder of discovery continues.
This place is really a gem. So Marycan Cross Reserve is the largest remnant patch of subtropical rainforest on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
This beautiful environment used to cover the Blackhall Ranges and now we have only small places remaining. So this is the best area to come to see this wonderful environment that you don't get to see so much anymore.
The walk is easy, only 1.7 k's. It's perfect for families and takes about 40 minutes.
What a beautiful tree, cracker.
There's something pretty special about this tree.
Yeah.
Instead of growing up like trees generally do toward the light, this one germinates up in the canopy from a seed and then its roots grow down over about 100 years.
I've never heard that before, that's amazing.
After a walk, recharge your batteries at the reserve's Mountain View Cafe and then head upstairs for something even more special.
Well, there we are, folks. The Glass House Mountains in all their magnificent glory. Arguably the best view on the Sunshine Coast. You'd have to imagine possibly one of the best views in the entire state of Queensland. I reckon there's only one way to beat that view, and that's actually from on top of one of the summits.
A summit hike might sound tough, but climbing the smaller Mount Gungun is a lot of fun. The 2.8k trail only requires a moderate level of fitness and takes about 40 minutes to get to the top.
Well, the great thing about this walk so far is that you don't have to walk far to get a glimpse of something amazing. I've only come 500 metres and already, look at that, Tibra Gargan. How are you, sir? It's a good walk. Lord, look at that. Drink that in, that is amazing.
As well as taking in the amazing views, tick off these other top hinterland experiences. The Brouhaha Brewery in Mullaney, a milkshake and burger at Rick's Garage, fine wine at Flame Hill Winery, and for a place to stay, you can't beat the gorgeous Secrets on the Lake. For information on all the places we've mentioned and visited on today's show, head to the Visit Sunshine Coast website.
Well, that view, and it is one of the very best I've ever seen, kind of encapsulates everything we've been trying to get across in this episode of Queensland Weekender, in that the Sunshine Coast, full of amazing beauty and experiences just dying to be explored. That is what we have time for on the show. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope we see you out here very, very soon. We'll see you next week for more Queensland Weekender.